Excuse my extremely cozy blanket, but it is freezing up in this motherfucker. Okay, guys, so I don't really know another way to start this episode of Cassidy's Corner. I'm just gonna tell you guys basically about an experience that I had today. As many of you may know, I live in New York City, and my main source of travel is MTA, the subway or buses. Being on the subway, you encounter many interesting personalities, to say the least. So my experience today it wasn't the greatest experience. I got onto the train and I sat down, and on the subway there's two-seaters. So I sat in one two-seater and there's another two-seater across from me. So there was a man there, and he kind of looked, a little bit, he looked like his hands were dirty, he didn't look like the cleanest guy out there. Later in the train ride, I can see that he's like drinking alcohol on the train. So I'm just like, okay, it worried me a little bit, but it wasn't bothering anyone. And I guess that put me in a kind of worried mode. Later in the train ride, I'm about to get off the train on the next stop. And then a woman comes on, and she sits right next to me, and just as soon as she sat down, her stench was really bad. She also kind of had the look of someone who was homeless. I just said to myself, I'm getting off at the next stop, Sorry, I forgot to mention that the guy sitting across from us, the one that was drinking, he looked like Latino, kind of. The woman that sat down next to me, she turns and says to me, go sit down over there with your kind. Go sit over there with your people. And I was just kind of like, I ignored her. I just looked at her and I was just like, okay, I ignored her. And then she said again, go sit over there. She was like, go sit over there. I stink. I'm homeless. I stink. She's like, I need to spray myself. She's like, go sit over there. And then I was just looking at her, and then she's like, okay, fine, I'm going to spray it. And then I was like, miss, it's fine. I will get up. I was like, it's okay. I'm going to get up. Don't worry about it. And then I get up, and she continues to dig in her bag, and, she's just mumbling things to herself, and within those mumbles, she calls me a stupid bitch. Okay, obviously, it bothered me that happened, but I'm not gonna fight with the woman, because then that would just make me just as bad as what she's doing. Thankfully, I was getting off at the next stop anyway, so that was my train ride home, and I realized once I got off the train, I was walking upstairs, to meet my dad, and I just had this really heavy feeling on my heart, and I didn't know exactly what it was. I'm not mad or hurt by the things that woman said. I'm not mad about that at all, because she doesn't know me, so she doesn't know if I'm a bitch or not anyway. So, but either way, it really affected me, because I wasn't concerned about the things that she said, but what I was concerned about is I started thinking to myself, what got her to this point? What kind of sat with me is a feeling of not doing what I could for people. Sometimes I think maybe there would be some way that I could talk to her or get through to her, or not just her, but people like her, people in that situation. And it kind of really just resonated with me, and I don't know why I felt it so heavy on my heart, and it really affected me. It just kind of got me to thinking, how does this happen, and why does this happen to people in general, as a whole? When I left the train, my dad picked me up, and I just kind of spoke to him about my feelings. I told him, I feel really affected by what just happened to me on the train, but not in the way that you would think. I'm not hurt because, she said some things to me, but what is hurting me is that human beings will allow themselves to kind of just not live in the best way that they can. And I'm not talking about money-wise. I mean as a person. I mean your heart. I mean, why wouldn't everyone choose to have a happy heart and be happy with other people and spread that happiness? Okay, this is turning into a whole Care Bear, unicorn, Teletubby thing. But what I want to send out to you guys is that one, you can never judge someone and where they are at any point in their life. Even with my feelings towards angry or mean people, I still feel like there's a reason they are that way. Whether I understand that reason or not, there must be a reason. Two is don't engage with angry people. Let's say angry people are right here. Someone who is happy is light and they're right here, but once that angry person tries to come and attack, if you respond, you're at the same level as that person and you don't want to be there. And that's the whole point of this. If she's going to feel that way and I'm looking at her, saying these things to me and I don't like it, if I do the same thing that she's doing, then I'm not going to like myself either. You cannot let someone else's actions affect your actions, and I kind of learned that today. It's a choice that I make in my head, and it's something that I feel better with in my heart. And number 3 is wherever you go, make it a point to be compassionate and understanding with other people. Make that your point. Learn to be compassionate with other people. Feel a sense of understanding that there's a reason why people end up in different places in life. 3 things I want you to take away from this episode of Cassidy's Corner. 1, do not judge anyone's situation. Number 2, don't feed in to negative people and the negative things they do. Number 3, be compassionate and understanding when it comes to different life situations. Because I kind of stick to these things, I'm a happier person in the end. Whatever you take from this, I just hope you guys learned something, and I hope you really truly did enjoy this video. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next Cassidy's Corner. Bye.